Hey friends, Corey LaJoie here alongside Ryan Flores, stacking pennies with you. We had an awesome weekend at Richmond, couple top fives for myself, good run for Ryan and that 38 team, and the best run for Austin Dillon and that 3 team, taking the dub, joining us right here on Nonsense Garage. It's going to be a great show. Buckle up. Let's get into it. Let's go stack some pennies.
Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
It tastes like gasoline, rubber, and victory.
We're just out here stacking pennies.
Hey friends, welcome to Stacking Pennies, episode 30. Going to break down a little bit of Richmond. Big weekend for myself, big weekend for Ryan and Harper, racing quarter midgets, and big weekend for RCR up in Welcome and Austin Dillon, who will be joining us here later in the show, so you do not want to miss it. Great conversation we had there. But first up, buddy, how's it going?
Great. You?
I'm chilling, man.
Why'd you wreck Newman, man?
Gotta go, man. The fat lady singing, man.
So we were driving up to Richmond, and everybody's like texting me, like, Corey got in the Newman. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Well, then.
Like, it's modified racing. And I was like, damn it, Newman's tough.
Well, then you texted me, like, was Newman mean? I said, Newman's mean whenever he's trying to be nice to you, let alone when you just wreck him.
Newman's mean.
Well,
he can be. He's a racer. He's just a hard-nosed racer.
Yeah, like, I'm starting to even be more and more aware on this. He actually didn't say anything. Now, I guess he said some mean things about me on MRN, which, whatever.
But he didn't wait for you after the race?
Oh, I talked to him after the race.
Oh, really?
He was like, yeah, I spun my tires. I thought you were going to cut me a break. I cut you a break. I got wrecked leading the race at Wilkesboro because I was picked up because the bumpers don't line up. I was off you by 2 feet, and then when you roasted them like John Force, then I got in your left rear in a bit, and you stuck in the fence.
It looks like the modified restarts at New Hampshire, at the big tracks, New Hampshire, Wilkesboro.
Well, because those things,
Richmond,
those things with the tire sidewalls, the tires are like marshmallows. They're sticky, but like they do this number a lot, and they have so much stagger that they don't drive straight. And now, so they got away with like ride height rules and modifieds now.
So
the bumper goes right underneath of it. But before we even get that far, so drove the same car for Gary Putnam, who lives right down the street here from the shop. He's like a little mad scientist in his basement with that thing. It's awesome. Works at Track House on the setup plate. And we just want to go have some fun. So we get there. We had some engine issues at Wilkesboro. So we put a different motor in it. We went to Richmond. And we only ran maybe 7 or 8 laps in the first practice, and transmission broke.
Hard on equipment, buddy. That's
gears, transmissions, rear ends. So we didn't have a ton of help. Gary's underneath slinging that thing. Levi was there with me. It was just Levi and I. We just drove in the bus.
This guy, call him, because we were going up with Harper, and I'm like, Kelly didn't go? And he's like, nah, she wasn't feeling real hot, so she stayed back. I'm like, so you by yourself?
No, I literally just...
And you're like, no, I brought Levi. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with him during the race? You're like, I don't know. I'm going to run around like Dale Jr. used to.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you ain't Dale Sr., buddy.
What do you... I mean, they got to learn.
So thank God we were there racing quarter parking lot, because I'm like, just drop him off. So we adopted Levi LaJoie for the weekend. And we had a blast.
It was great, but like...
He was wore out.
Even on Thursday for the modified race, he was rolling tires in.
That's what Denny said.
The guy was like checking air pressure. Levi's like over it. Like, what's that do? What's that do?
Said he was in the driver's meeting.
It was great.
That's awesome.
I mean, what better opportunity to like learn and observe? So
yeah, dude, I had a blast at the truck race. Went to the.
Hang on, we got to talk about modified race.
Okay,
first.
Nobody wants to hear about modified racing that much. We're on 5th, man.
Well, nobody really cares to hear about anything about the truck race either, because nobody watches. But so modified race, we start deep because we qualified early because we didn't run second practice.
Oh.
So Richmond's the worst possible place to go out early because the rubber continues to get picked up. Here I'm racing Luke Baldwin, he's a stud, man.
He's great. He's great.
And that car, that 7NY, obviously Tommy Baldwin, modified guy. That thing is dialed. So here I'm trying to wrap the bottom. My car was really, really tight. Got a restart here. That's what we talked about with Newman. So he put on rights. So you have 6 tires laying. I don't want to get too much into the technical weeds. He put on rights when everybody else around him put 3 tires on, right sides and the left rear.
Yeah.
So these things, when you have an old, I was really concerned that my Nerf bar was going to get into the right rear tire there, but it was
right rear tube was bent.
I know
too.
But Craig Lutz, he's a badass.
I like his crew chief, Doug Ojico. He crew chiefed you a couple of years ago at Loudon.
Yeah.
When you drove that car, that
for
Poppy, whatever that bank was.
Yeah, the 17 car.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see Craig Lutz. Man, modifieds are the coolest cars ever. They really are. Then I don't want to get too technical, but like modify, we talk about all these different downforce and this and that and the other things where modifieds make lift with the front. They make about 150 pounds of lift in clean air, and they make 300 pounds total. So that means when you're in traffic, it adds front and takes away rear, so you get real loose in traffic. So going from a modified, the aero positions you put yourself in a modified, you can show your right side door and spoiler to get grip in those things. If you do that in the truck, it's like the worst possible push you can imagine. So it took like the first run of the truck race for me to be like, okay, I need to put myself in correct, quote unquote, aero spots here. We come out of the gate in the truck race. We were second on the board because we were our first group. Went out early, plowing and qualifying, started deep, and just chipped our way to the front. Wrapped the bottom.
It was, dude, I went to the grandstands. So I had the kids. We were at your bus. I felt like your bus driver. So I dropped you off at driver intros or whatever. Brought the kids out there for national anthem. Saw everybody on pit road who I haven't seen in years. It was great. It was kind of like a high school reunion walking up and down
truck
pit
series
road.
really is.
And then watched the race, but like halfway through the race, Chris was like, we need food. I'm like, I gotta go find food. So I took the golf cart. And the only place that was open was the grandstands.
Yeah.
So I go in the grandstands, and I watched one restart where you plug it 4 wide. But like I haven't been in the grandstands at Richmond in 20 years.
That's one thing where I've noticed the restart aggression. When you race so long in the Cup Series, it is 10-10s all the time, and there's any sort of real estate available, then you plug it. Truck guys are you grow to the level of what your competition is, right? And the guys from 7th on back don't get those sort of reps against high caliber guys. Every restart I went top of 3 or top of 4 and got 4 or 5 spots. I think my position retention had to be plus 25 all night.
Padding the stats, but like sitting there in the grandstands, especially at Richmond, I'm so happy they went to one race because it was so packed. Like all weekend was awesome, but like I hadn't been there. Like I watched the pit cycle and then watched that restart, and like the way Richmond's built, it's so sick.
Yeah, dude.
It was like, I'm like, dude, this is electric. I just want to stay up here, but I better get back in case I got to go pick Corey up from the care center because I'm like, well, I hope he doesn't wreck. And then you blow it in there 4 wide. I'm like, I better go get the golf cart. But I turn around, and that one guy that's in the grandstands is Carson Hosevar comes walking up. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just hanging out in the grandstands, man.
Yeah, he likes to go up there and get noticed and take pictures.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was his age, and if I wouldn't watch it in the bus, I'd be up there watching it because it was sick, dude. Fun weekend with the quarter midget. That was cool. They have the NASCAR Youth Series. We just were NASCARing all weekend, buddy.
Yeah, man.
And Richmond was a cool city to hang out in. We had a good time.
Taking in everything Richmond has to offer.
And then we went cup racing.
Yeah, yes, we did. So 2 top 5s in my least favorite track this weekend. Gotta love it. That's 2 top 5s in that Spire Motorsports reunion, if you will. I think we can go. Working with Chad Walters there, went to the sim yesterday for Darlington. I would hate to think that we can't go win a couple of those races. Darlington next week, I feel really good about.
It's going to be hard to beat that 11 and 34, but
those trucks are dialed, dude. Those two.
Well, they have just a program they've been working on for 2 years, right? It's week in, week out, working on your stuff. It's hard to just come in and skip those steps. But the one thing I did want to point out when I went to the grandstands, way more than 12 people.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because I'm racing now. They're showing up.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you love to see it. And then sold out crowd on Saturday night for the Cookout 400. Things you love to see. You love to see Cookout continue to lean into our series. Like you mentioned, Richmond, one date. Lori and her entire team up there at Richmond. Place looked great.
Harper even went to driver intros. Said, welcome Richmond race fans. Like it was like a revival. These tracks, like we got to go everywhere except for 3 tracks one time. I stand by that. I will always say that.
Well, I don't want to get into this conversation. We're going to dive into this conversation with Ben Kennedy later on in the week. You do not want to miss that in Spare Change. We're going to break down some news, if you will.
Maybe some schedule news.
Because if we keep making the case, hey, let's go to one date. Well, we still got to race 36 weeks for the teams to continue to get paid what they all want to get paid. So where do you start filling in these dates if we're taking them away?
Coronado, California, maybe.
Mm-hmm. San Diego. All right, let's run some tapes here. What do we got? First up, let's play. We don't know what we're looking at here yet. Oh, the big crash. The big one at Richmond.
But did Kyle Busch get mad here? Was he like, all right, I'm sending this 19?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And then Kyle Busch into the back of the 19, who was trying to get underneath the 5. And then
Yeah, he was mad at the 19 because when he let off the brake and smashed into his left rear, he's like, I'm ripping your left rear suspension out of this thing.
Well, he didn't. Kyle never even drove into his left rear. He drove straight through.
No, watch. Because he drives into his left rear here. This right here is like a.
No, he's locked down right now. Look at him. He's locked up. Yeah, he's not trying to plow through him.
Now the 6 is pushing him too. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
Dale
that.
Earnhardt?
Yeah.
Generational. Justin Haley with a generational ARCA brake.
So, man, you guys know my affinity for Kyle Busch here in this show. He continues to step on his pecker. His teammate up there winning races. He can't stop speeding on pit road. He can't stop smashing into each other, and we wonder why he is not getting the results that he should be in that 8 car. So, and that's about all I'll say about that. And then he not only does he wipe out one chase, he gets the chase.
Watch the 38 here. We get through it. We pass all these cars. Mm-hmm. And then they put all these cars back in front of us on the restart.
Oh, my God. Chase hit an absolute ton, too.
You see that? His Instagram post with Shane Gillis. You see, that's crap. That's a load of crap.
I love that.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's not often you see like a light-hearted social media. It's not often you see anything that kind of brings a smile to your face when it comes to Chase. He's such a serious fella, but it was nice to see a Shane Gillis Instagram post.
Dude, his
riding along with the 9 here. If you're watching on YouTube,
you don't often see a large hit like that at Richmond. That's a big hit at Richmond.
I'm through it, Harry. Ah, dang it.
That's a load of crap.
Dude.
He looked like, I'm telling you.
Big wreck.
I wouldn't call that ARCA brakes.
I wouldn't call that an ARCA brake either. That was just bad spot.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
It was a funny clip, though, from Dale Earnhardt.
You know, the internet always wins.
Yes, they do.
So that wiped out, what, 50? Actually, it wrecked.
Didn't wipe out anybody.
Yeah, in the moment.
One guy, and then they put.
It looked like 10 guys were out of the race. Well, 2 of the 3, the 19 and the 24, that looked like they were wadded up, ran in the top 15.
Well, what was crazy about it is like all those guys wrecked. Well, they threw the caution pretty early when it happened, so it went back to the last timing line. So we were in front of everybody that crashed, and it put us 10 spots back.
Yeah. Because
Zane was like, why are we so far back? All these guys crashed. They're like, yeah, they went back to the last timing line.
Which I would agree. In an instance like that, it's hard to know who's slowing down for the wreck, who's keeping pace, who can roll bottom. There was an instance like that. The big one, this car inherently is more resilient. It's stronger. The suspension of the car is stronger. The body itself doesn't incur damage like tire rubs or things like that. So you can like the previous car, if you get into a wreck like that, you got a fender rub, you got to come pit anyways. Now this car, you just kind of dink, dink, doink, doink, and keep it moving. So it creates this issue with NASCAR. If there's a caution like that, who's in the wreck, who's not in the wreck?
Oh, it either works out for you or doesn't. I'm not saying a rule needs to be changed. It just didn't work out. Like, then if you move it to the next line, everybody's going to be racing the next line. So it just is what it is.
But hey, like,
I'm not asking for a rule to be changed. I'm not on NASCAR Twitter right now.
I'll give you, Zane, and Ryan Bergenti a little bit of flowers because you guys had a solid run. We'll probably break some of the. You got knocked off the jack once. We'll break that down in boats and woes.
I hope I got that video. I've never seen that.
Yep. So that kind of set up a unique race. The 11, he speed on pit road. He went to the back, kind of drove back to the front, and then had another issue. Might have got caught up in that wreck. So he went back to the front a couple different times, but still was never able to get control of the race. The car that was able to get control of the race was the same one as last year. Was that 3 Chevy.
Yeah.
Wrapping the bottom, laying off the wall down the front straightaway to get some left rear drive, and just chipping away at it. 12 was in command at one point in time, but the 3 runs him down and passes him.
I knew that this would be this last run would be a tough one for the 12. Just working with Ryan and that 12 team for the last decade. It's just, this is not a great style track for that bunch where, like, you have long runs to save tires. When you can run as hard as you can every lap, that's a Ryan Blaney, Jonathan Hassler track.
Yeah.
Tracks like this where you got to kind of keep rears attached, stuff like that.
Was there a stat,
Glimpses of speed,
Higgy, that I heard this was the only track that Ryan Blaney doesn't have a top 5 at? Okay.
Wow.
So he finally checked them all off. That's a pretty cool stat.
That's a good stat. Austin Dillon, though, man.
Cool. You love to see it.
And William Byron goes on and wins the regular season championship.
Yep.
So a lot of playoff shakeups with this three car. Who's gonna? They could. If there's a spoiler this weekend, there's nobody in on points. Or there's a couple. There's just a cutoff.
There could be, if somebody outside the cut line wins, then there will be one car in on points. And right now, Tyler Reddick is 29, I believe. 29 above Bowman.
Oh man.
So unless the 45 has issues early, most likely the 45 will be in on points. And I would also say most likely somebody on the outside looking in will win. I'd love to see it.
I don't know.
I've been hammering the 6 all week.
6. I think the 6 is probably the most aggressive super speedway racer.
Yes.
That being said,
a lot of times it doesn't work out
crashes.
for him. Yeah, a lot of times it doesn't work out for him.
But he's great there. It's almost like Daytona. When I would go to Daytona with Brad, change tires for him for a little bit too. Should have won the 500 that one year, but they wrecked.
It's like you get the victory lane hat bag out, but also you pull the casters out at the same
That's
time and lay them
exactly
next
what
to
it is. But like the victory lane hat, the casters are like that. Like the scale's always tipping that way because like it seems like one of those things where he wants it too bad, where it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
If you chase it, it runs almost. But
before
we get to Daytona, I just want to celebrate Richmond one more time. But I want to say
great tire brought by Goodyear.
Tire. But here's the thing: we only go there once, so the teams don't have a bunch of notebooks on it. If we went back next year, the team with the same tire and everything, they would have it figured out better, where the race wouldn't be as great.
I 1,000% agree. And also, let's not confuse the rate of tire degradation that Richmond provides with how porous and how rough the surface is. It's like Greenville Pickens surface. In terms of, it's like Myrtle Beach, worn out asphalt. You can't ask Goodyear to bring a tire and get the same amount of fall off and degradation at a Martinsville. The asphalt and concrete in the corners.
Everything's unique.
Everything
right?
is
You don't
unique.
just flip the switch at these places.
Right.
It works out. The reason I think it worked out this year, Richmond's one of the last races of the playoffs. So everybody's kind of looking at the playoffs and like, oh yeah, there's Richmond too. But there's not a ton of resources. People that are the really good cars are probably focused on Darlington or the first round of the playoffs right now. And then we haven't been there since last year.
Right.
The tire's new, so we don't really have any models on it.
Yep.
We don't get much practice.
Right.
So it's all the variables down the one. It's not just like, we know exactly how we're going to fix this.
Right.
Flip that switch. It's not how it works. And if you were to go back next week, the race wouldn't look anything the same as it did this week. So
I agree.
each circumstance is unique, and it's different. Stop trying to manufacture different outcomes.
Amen, brother. And another level to the Goodyear stuff, those guys are continually trying to look for solutions to even – they're 3D printing tires now. They're doing a tire test this week to try out, like, your 3D print something for your wall. Like, they're literally 3D printing rubber to try to make –
Carolina Motorsports Park?
Yep.
Yeah. Allegedly.
So Goodyear is a invaluable partner to the sport, and the fact that Keto and his entire group over at Goodyear are continuing to try to find solutions to provide the fans what they want to see on each and every week. Thank you, Goodyear.
Goodyear, let's go.
And you know, somebody who else was a big fan of Goodyear this weekend is Austin Dillon, because him and that 3 team took the dub on Saturday night. Let's go ahead and talk to him here on Stag and Pennies, coming up right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please help me introduce back-to-back winner of the Richmond Night Race, Mr. Austin Dillon.
Let's go.
Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, man. Well, it felt pretty dang good.
This man has got a glass bottle of Coke at 10:15 in the morning. The grind never stops for the chug points. Absolutely refreshing. What's more refreshing? Backing up that run that you had last year and not having the caution that really gummed things up for you and just an old school butt whipping, or that ice cold Coca-Cola in your hand?
I tell you, that ice cold Coca-Cola is pretty good, but backing up the previous year and everything that went with it, the emotions of the whole situation, I don't think it was a fairy tale. It was kind of crazy, man. Like living a dream running that race on Saturday night.
Well, it should be, because cup races are hard to win, man. You're doing it each and every week, grinding, fighting for all you're worth. It's got to be even more fulfilling, though, when you get out and Whitney wakes the kids up, drags them to victory lane. What's it like hanging out with Ace and Blaze there in victory lane? And your grandpa, or your dad?
No, it was super special, and talked about it a little bit. One of the coolest things was I coming up there and giving me a big hug on the front stretch, and having his kids in victory lane with our kids, and it was a big family moment, man. It was cool. Ace actually cried in victory lane when Tappan and Oakley had to leave, and I was like, dude, we're in victory lane. There's no crying in victory lane. You got to clean it up, dude. Like, we're going to take all your stuffies away if you keep crying. So he got it together eventually and started enjoying his milkshake.
Well, I mean, my man probably hadn't had a nap all day, and you're like, son, suck it up. We just won.
Dude, I want to jump right into this because I've been thinking about this all day. And I love the feel-good stuff, and I love all of it. But you guys are 28th in points. And I think about Richmond, right? It's the hardest race we go to for Boswell for strategy. It's one of the hardest races we go to on pit road. It's one of the hardest races we go to for a driver. And you guys just dominated, right? And you've had, I mean, your guys' struggles this year have been documented, right? Your grandfather said at Dover, like, we got to get better. And through all of it, how the hell do you pick Richmond, one of our top 3 hardest racetracks to go to, and just kick everybody's ass? Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, no, it is, man. I think you look at it all year, you're fighting through the struggle, and then there's Richmond in the back of your head looming. Hey, it could happen. It's a place that we've got a good baseline, obviously, and I love the track. But I think it really started about 2 weeks prior at Iowa. We had a really good race car, and I feel it was capable of winning the race. Cautions never fell the way we needed them to. And we drove from 20th to 10th that last run, and I was really happy with that. And then from a pit crew standpoint, you know this, you need to be competing with the top teams to understand the pressure of pit road to get prepared for that moment. And so that was a lead up also for Richmond, for those guys on pit road. We went to Watkins Glen, which is historically the worst track for me. And we needed a good finish to set up qualifying. They did a great job with strategy. We finished 15th, and that set us up for a decent position going out at Richmond. And we executed qualifying to get 11th, which was a win. And from a long run perspective in practice, I felt good about where we were. And then the rest is history. So it was just kind of leading up to it. It was like, hey, this place is the target. We got to start working toward that. And it all came together like we kind of planned.
I heard in your post-race, one of your post-race interviews, talked about how you and Ty are starting to take a little bit of the weight off of RC in terms of just maybe daily responsibilities. I'm curious, though, what a normal week in terms of what meetings are you sitting on? What decisions are you making? How is that transition, and what's that look like over like a time period?
Yeah, we've been going to the department head meetings, sticking our heads in those and just listening to the different things that we're trying to accomplish at the company, and things that we can do better and things that are coming to prepare for them. Just being a part of those meetings are, I think, really important, and then just being there for RC and supporting him whatever he might need. He's getting older, and he's still putting himself in competition in everything that you can think of when it comes to RCR. If it's even building a building that adds to CT Springs, our new valve spring company. So, like, every little part of this big machine that we have built over here is just a lot, man. And he wants to be connected to everything, just like his involvement with the Cowboys with me. He will call me out on things like, hey, why are we riding this guy? Or what do you think about this? And I'm like, hey, I got this under control. You're good. Just come and enjoy it. Like, I want you to come to this thing and enjoy it, but let me stress about the performance side of it. So, but he's a competitor, and that's what we love about him. And he's the one owner that you're going to see each and every weekend out on top of the truck in the dead of the heat, which I don't understand. A man could be in the AC in any suite that he wants, looking at the computer, whatever it may be, but he's going to be out there grinding through it with the sun beating down on his head for his guys. Like, that's just his mentality.
So he has seen the sport literally from more or less the inception of it, right? One of the pioneers that continue to build the foundation of the sport that now we all love to talk about and love to continue to compete. How do you weigh, though? It's like, how do you weigh as the sport evolves, as consumers evolve, of how they watch our sport, what they consider a quote-unquote good race, which we're not going to get in the middle of right now. But what sort of, like, differences do you bring to the table of how the sport's going to continue to evolve, how the team evolves in the future, but also keep the fabric of what RCR was built on consistent in the future?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of hopefully what Ty and I can bring to RCR and the focus of the future. And it's a lot because you're trying to, like you said, keep the same things that have built RCR to this point, but also look to the future and try and, be one of the top teams that you're looking to, the benchmark, the Hendricks, the Pennies, the Gibbs. How do we get to that? But what we've always been known of is just kind of grind it out organization, but we want to compete, and I think we can, and we've been able to do it and scrap along and do a good job of putting ourselves in good positions. But I think the future is important, and I think people need to know what we want to do. And I think in the next couple of years, you're going to see more of a plan. And I think Mike Verlander was a great hire for us as the president. He's done a lot, and he's worked really close with our family along the way. And so it's been fun. Richard Boswell was a great addition for me as a crew chief, and some of those guys from Stuart Haas. So it was it's fun seeing the culture start to shift. It's a big boat to turn in a direction and start to get that turn.
So being a team guy, I know, especially now with this next-gen car, right, you can't build a better mousetrap. So it's just about getting your team to all pull the rope in the same direction. I heard you talking to Harvick yesterday, and you said that you and Boswell had to have a heart-to-heart there about a quarter of the way into the season, man. How hard was that conversation? Can you pull the curtain back on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was just trying to really understand each other as people. And we're very alike in a lot of ways, where I feel like I'm a person, if you push me, I'm already pushing myself to almost exhaustion. I feel like that 100% is there. So if you're pushing me, and the next step is wreck or just fall out, And so for him, there was a time for him to push me, and him just understanding that, and then sitting with me. I figured out that his buttons were pretty easy to push with the responses I would give him, and we were just screwing each other a little bit. And we went to Nashville, and we just kind of we had good runs leading up to those, actually, and strategy calls were questionable maybe, but we just didn't get what we wanted out of it. After Nashville, we just needed to get together. And it was great because it was one of those conversations, just a closed-door conversation to understand each other. And ever since, man, that guy's been like my brother. It's been awesome. And he knows that he's my guy and I'm his guy, and we trust each other, and that goes a long way.
That's the biggest thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, a 5-minute conversation can sway the whole course of your season, especially now. Because it's just about being on the same page. You can't build something better. You got the parts you got.
A driver crew chief relationship is a marriage. Like, you have to put the work and the communication without the benefits. The only benefit is like a Saturday night, right? Those are the benefits you get from having really hard conversations on a weekly basis. And it's really cool that you and Richard have built that, because Richard was a driver himself.
He was.
Dude, I saw him get wrecked at Orange County one night, and he had the cleanest, like, one swing, hit this guy's window net latch, came down in the window. It was like the most perfect thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, this guy's a hard-nosed racer, and he's an engineer. He's going to be a great crew chief.
Well, Cliff Daniels, cut from the same cloth, kind of the same thing, too.
He's what's good about him is he has no problem calling you out when you need to be called out, right? And I respect that. And I think that was the biggest thing is, like, I respect what you're telling me, but let's just have the right time to say it, you know? And
on like a Monday afternoon, not a Sunday on the radio.
Yeah, this is not a Sunday conversation.
Yeah.
This is a Monday through Friday conversation.
Yeah, it's been cool. And I tell you, the other thing he's great at is he's just a good leader. The guys really get behind him and respect him. And he brought in some guys to our team last year. And we were kind of late in the season to get like what was left at that point. And he found two guys that came in and fit in our team great. And that team's really working well together.
How much has having kids brought you and Ty back close together? Because it seemed like, you know, you guys raced together. We all raced together, right? Legend cars, everything growing up. And then we get in that weird, like, mid-20s. We're all finding out who we are. We find our wives. But then, like, you have kids, and your kids are the same age. Has that helped everybody reconnect as a family?
Oh, it's been huge. The kids love each other, man. They're best friends. We were talking about it this weekend. Captain came in our bus, and Ace was passed out asleep, and it was just Blaze and Whitney. And Whitney was like, "Captain, what's up?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out." And she was like, "You want some ice cream?" So they just had an ice cream cone together, Captain, Whitney, and Blaze while Ace was asleep, and then Ace gets up and they go play. So it's cool just seeing them hang out and be a part of that. And, we've all come way closer, and that's good to see. And I think that's good for my grandfather to see also. Like, he wants that because his whole career has been at the racetrack, right? And he's had to sacrifice a lot of family time from that situation. So he doesn't want us to sacrifice that because it's like a regret for him to feel like. So him seeing us as close as we've gotten, I think it's huge for him to believe in the NASCAR and RCR and the future of it.
Well, to that point exactly, right? RC was sacrificing to hopefully build his entity to pass it down to you guys, right? So he didn't want it to come at that expense. He wanted to leave you guys something that's really valuable, which it continues to grow with the escalation of the values of these charters, and the entity what's up there and Welcome is obviously super valuable. But I would hate to see, right, that sacrifice come at an expense, because RCR is probably the most family grounded business in our sport, and the loyalty there with the people that have been working there for 20 plus years is pretty neat to see. And anytime I think your company can have some success, everybody as a race fan is pretty excited about it.
Would you agree that RCR, now let me think about this, is probably the last racer that turned into a business other than a businessman that bought a race team? Like, is that, you guys feel that way?
I like to hang the hat on that for sure. I feel like it's pretty cool. You know, you go back to the $20 taxi cab at Bowman Gray to see what he's built it to. It's a storybook. It's a book. It needs to be written, and I think he's working on that actually. And I like to help him.
All right, I got a hard question, and this might be putting the cart in front of the horse, but I'm going to ask it.
Yeah.
At what point do you see yourself transitioning into leading the company and coming out of the driver's seat?
Yeah, I think right now, I think the team, and I've been bragging a lot, the team that we've built is probably the best team that I've been a part of. I feel that way. So if we can't go out and compete, you know, the rest of this year, the next year, we got to think about it. You know, we got to think about what that direction is for me. I want to be a contender, and saying that win felt really good at Richmond. Those things change things. I mean, I remember looking at Denny's career a couple years back when he had a winless season or two, and then he comes out and wins, I don't know however many he's won since then. So it's just where I can best suit the company and help Welcome and RCR, that's going to be the crossover. Because there's going to be a time where we gotta change it and find a young talent, because there's a lot of young talent out there right now. It's cool to see, and I've been looking at that myself too with Josh Wise and different people of like, hey, who's the next guy? And we've got two guys right now, Austin Dillon and Jesse Love's on the great. So we'll just see. I mean, I definitely think about it, and have had good conversations about the future with the brain trust here at RCR. So, but I think we're in good hands.
Well, eventually, just the phases of the chapter of life that you're in, you can't put every single waking second towards being the best driver you have to be. And I think you realize when that moment is, right? Because doing what you're doing now takes everything you got on a daily basis for 38 weekends out of the year. And as long as you're willing to continue to go to Josh Wise and go to the simulator and be in the meetings and have the mental stress and emotional stress, hell yeah, you got a great team.
Yeah.
Keep saddling up for the ride.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought about that Saturday night. Was all the hours in that simulator, the frustrating hours that you put in, that you think, maybe this didn't really help them, and afterwards, that's rewarding. You know, the time that you spent over there at Chevy, working on the tire, working on whatever it may be. You know, we've not missed a date this year in the sim. From every Tuesday night, I've been there. So it's pretty cool to look back on that.
All right. I know that you probably, just like anybody, like keeps an eye on social media because you're curious to see which way the wind's blowing, right? And lately, the wind is blowing a headwind very sternly in the opposite direction of what we currently have in terms of playoff system.
Oh, we're going down this
We're
road.
going down, right?
Putting you in a spot, buddy.
I'm not. Well, we put SVG on the spot right here when he was on with us a couple weeks ago. And, of course, somebody like SVG, that's why Justin Marks put his nuts on the table to get him over here. And it has clearly paid off exponentially for him. And I think it will continue. And I'm going to ask you, right? You are the beneficiary of how currently the point system is set up with the playoffs, which I'm not going to even insert my opinion on it because I'm a TV guy now, and I think being a TV guy now, it creates a lot of storylines and a lot more excitement for the fans the broadcast can touch on. But now you sitting here on Tuesday, going from 28th, instantly now your floor of point season in terms of historical money you guys make for the next 3 years and all the financial things that come from that and the momentum competitively for the rest of the year. Before Friday, what was your opinion on the wind and you're in? And now what is it currently? Is it the same even after you win? Because you've raced to the rules that NASCAR sets.
Yeah. And it's a tough one. Winning is everything. So, and that's what NASCAR has pushed it to be. Now, consistency and old me, I won a championship in Xfinity Series. I didn't win a race. I all pointed. I had probably 6 second-place finishes. I had more wins in my rookie year.
How many people complained when you won the championship that you didn't win a race back then?
People complained a lot of about me. I'm sure there were some.
Yeah.
But since this format, only thing that, I always thought I could win a cup championship off of being consistent one day. I thought that's who I was as a driver. I'm a consistent driver. I might not be the fastest at everywhere, but I'm pretty good everywhere. That's what I thought. Just consistency. But the game changed, and it's about winning. So there's only X amount of opportunities to get a win. I don't care how many people I really jumped on that, because now I'm in there with the other winners, and we're going to go. Now, my complaint would be in the playoff system. I think one thing that I would change on that, because they've been asking this question a lot in interviews and stuff, I think that the other cars that are out of the playoffs shouldn't be points in between the playoff drivers. So, and when I say that,
okay,
if I'm running 5th and Denny's in 10th, that's 1 point between us. So it keeps from knocking out a guy that's put a lot of effort out throughout the year in one race in that playoff system.
I've never heard that.
And it
So,
also
so the playoffs guys have their own points rewards throughout the playoffs only.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just racing those guys for the 10 races that you got straight up head to head. You have that bad day, it doesn't take that guy out right away of those 3 races or say, hey, you got to go win the next one to transfer. So
He's right on.
He's a businessman.
He's a
You
businessman.
can tell he's getting ready to lead this place.
Smart fella.
it takes Martinsville out of it last year too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that same situation's gone.
Because you got to pass, because there is fluff to either be on the really detrimental side of it, right? Let's say the fluff, the 15 cars in between you and the next playoff guy, or on the contrary of Ross Chastain having to go get some fluff to punch his ticket to the Final Four.
Exactly. There's no fluff. You're just straight up against the guys you're racing for a championship. Take those points out in between the other cars. That makes them straight up. That's it.
I do want to say this because you see multiple angles of the sport now, not only behind the wheel, but right, you see a lot of the financial models behind these race teams, and you can say what you want to about what the sport was, what it used to be, but where it's going. You got to follow the money. The teams, the money is going exponential, right? We go from $700 million to $1.1 billion a year to the next TV deal 6 years from now. It'll be $1.78 billion if you just continue the trend. The sport, contrary to what fans' opinion or not, the broadcasts or what there's a whole thing, right? There's fans, there's OEM partners, there's broadcast partners, but you got to follow the money. And if the money wants playoff system excitement and Game 7, bottom of the ninth moments, you got to continue to figure out as a sport how to evolve and give fans those moments.
I agree. Hey, the money's great too, right? And the money that you guys are going to make by making the playoffs is great, but you have a chance to win this championship, and that's bigger than anything, right? When you wake up in the morning, you don't go. When you wake up as a kid in the morning, you don't go, man, I want to be a millionaire one day, so I want to be a Cup champ one day. What's the path for this 3-car? I mean, Boswell won Darlington last year in a walk-off. Like, I see a path for you guys. What is the path for you guys to win this championship?
Well, I'll say this. Just talking about the first round, it sets up really well for us. Those 3 tracks are places I'm confident at, that we can go have solid runs at, and if we execute like we did at Richmond, I feel like we'll transfer, and then the next round is just another round. I haven't even thought about that. So I'm starting with those 3. I'm excited about those 3 and where our team's at right now. The momentum's good. So we'll just keep digging. You know, I think those first 3 are really good. That's all I'll say. Gateway last year was probably our second best race of the year. We ran 6. And we just had a good day there. So.
All right, I got you for 3 more minutes. So I got 3 questions for you. Let's keep it tidy. I don't know. Have you ever been on the show?
I don't think so, and I need to come down there. You told me I need to be on the show with you, so I'm going to do that.
It's just we can sit here. We got a day. I showed you our Dale cooler. We can hit the special button, which is an alternating selection of beers. So I'd love to sit down here and drink one with you. And I need you to sign our Hall of Fame wall too, in case times get too tough for me. I can auction that off on Facebook Marketplace. But if you had to pick one type of car and one racetrack to race at the rest of your life, what do you go with?
Oh, geez. Homestead Miami Speedway. The car. Oh, man.
He's going to pick like 2009 Harvick car.
That's
what
your
I can
favorite
read his
car
mind
ever.
right now.
I was actually going to go. There was the year that we were doing all the body stuff where we were pulling out the side skirts. And
The year Harvick won.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that, 16?
That was nuts.
14.
Because you come down pit road and you just be like holding on for dear life, and then they make that first adjustment and it's 80 bar the door. We're ripping now.
Yeah, well, first adjustment was
First
yanking the
adjustment
front of the door out 3 inches.
Yes.
Oh, that's some way better now.
Recorder with the tire and the tire carrier pulling the left rear off of the car.
That's right. All right, question number 2. What's your most embarrassing moment at the track?
Oh, jeez. Probably when I tried to slide in the grass that one time early on and struck it like a scorpion. And I went back to my truck and threw up in the truck. I covered the camera with the checkered flag and threw up in the truck. And they played it at the Christmas party here one year.
I still have that picture of SJ sliding in the grass. I saved that one for good times.
They had to bring in some extra sod to put it in there after he did. Last question, I'll let you go. If I had the Men in Black pen and I zapped all of your racing memories and you only got to keep one, what do you keep?
I would say Saturday night.
Let's go.
Love that.
That was it.
Well, you earned it, buddy. So good luck to
Thank you,
Richard, and the entire 3 team.
Hey, one thing before we go.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things of the race Saturday night was racing Blaney there for like 8 to 10 laps side by side.
Oh, it was great.
And I'll talk about the tire for a second. Dude, we were on ice skates.
Yeah.
Like, I could not pass him. He couldn't pass me. And it was like all I could do to get the throttle down the straightaway. And I thought that was epic racing. And we never touched. And it was
I'm glad you brought that up because I watched it, and the broadcast didn't do a tremendous job of articulating like what you guys. It just looks like you guys are slow, like side by side, just slow. But like I'm thinking these guys are hanging on for dear life, trying to find the little, like, give me a little bit of that paint. Oh, there it is. Yes, I got it. And then he comes back, and you're like, damn it.
Well, like the SVG
I was doing
foot
everything I could. And some of the guys were, after the race, they were like, yeah, we were listening to the radio, and Blaney's like, I know what he's trying to do right here. I'm like, dude, I was just trying to pass him. Like, there was nothing.
No.
I couldn't get the throttle down.
Yeah.
Blaney always
And I
goes
was
worst
just
case. He gets
sliding.
mad.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
That's where they need the foot cam. Forget Watkins Glen. They need it there so people can see.
Trying to squeeze it.
It's exactly like that. It was like,
Yeah, dude. Well, that was a great race, man. Congratulations again. Talk to you soon. Thanks for joining Stacking Pennies.
Thank you.
Austin Dillon, everybody. All right, we're back. What do they call the? Do they call them the Flying Aces? Austin's pit crew.
They used to call them
Junkyard Dogs.
Like now, now the Flying Aces is what they called themselves back in the day.
Okay.
And I think
what are they now?
They've adopted that.
Tickets. Get your ticket. The Ticket Masters.
They're Richmond winners. Two years in a row. So they showed up when it was time. We'll start right there. Dogs of the week. Buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, you got to be. That's a hard. Like they weren't the fastest, but they kept them in the race, and we'll see here in a little bit that there was a bunch of teams that took themselves out of
Absolutely.
it. So congrats to Paul Swan, Ethan Tingler, all the boys on the 3-car Dogs of the Week.
I thought it was interesting. Austin touched on it when he said that he was telling his guys to be in position to compete against the teams that do it every week to be able to be prepared for that moment.
That's it. And you know it's way harder to race to pit for wins than it is to pit for 20th, 15th, 12th. It doesn't. It's the same. The car stops in the same box, and you do the same job, but you can't control the. A
9.6 between the difference of 10th or 11th isn't magnified. The difference between somebody running an 8.8 and a 9.2 for the lead, right? That's when the magnifying glass gets
depends
shown.
on that. Your whole season hinges on that. You either get 28th place points or playoff points and a playoff paycheck, right? The whole company is on your back at that point when you're pitting, and you know that. But
there's so many opportunities to mess up at Richmond as long as it goes, and how many green flag stops and the rounded pit road to maximize your lights, and
it's downhill, like the pit road's off camber, and there's a lot of different things.
Brake heat that has something to do with it, right? There's
low tire pressure. Cars stop sooner. The pit boxes are wide, but they're narrow. Pit road speed's a little bit faster. So it's just like a lot.
We have a CVS receipt worth of woes here. Let's go ahead and run the first one.
9-car.
But also
Yep, that's going to be a penalty.
Take a look at the top. The 19
You got to be
Briscoe
on the outside of this orange line. He's brushing him back, but man, I don't know why he's cutting it that close.
Oh
right,
man!
so if we take this car right here,
Watch this illustration from Steve.
Right here, he needs to be basically over. So for him to be legal,
oh wow!
He needs
Yeah,
to be over.
Look at that!
Cut it out!
Holy cow! Doing a little illustrator up there in the booth, Stevie.
That's the guideline
Boy.
for the 9 of Chase Elliott. He is way too far to the left. He is in the 19 box.
This is why they have that orange line, right?
Yep.
You can, if you don't impede their stop, you can cover that orange line. It's only if you impede it. But that's exactly why they made that line, and why they made that rule is because Denny Hamlin was doing this at Charlotte a couple years ago to the 22 guys and brushing people back. He gets Lee. I don't know why Lee doesn't put his shield down. That still blows my mind.
Because it's a dark shield and it's
But all these Gibbs guys, they run these helmets with shields and they leave their shields up. What are you doing? Put the shield down.
They don't want to change it to a clear shield. So
Buddy, I have been hit in the face back when we used to wear like the motorcycle helmets. One time when the cars had no ride height and they were splitters, I had a rock I had him hit a rock with the splitter, and it shot it into my mouth while I was running out there. And I was like, boom, and it was stuck in my mouth the whole pit stop. And it was hot. It's like a hot rock in my mouth. Shut your shield, man. There's stuff flying all around, but Lee's been doing this forever. But yeah, that ruins the 9's race. That's just another way to take yourself out of it. The 11 team here has a slow stop. Don't know what happened here.
And yet fans will, have a poll on wanting to get rid of one of the best crew chiefs on pit road for instances like that. Not his fault.
All right, rewind this a little bit. Let me see it. So Hicksy, they don't get the red rear on. Let me see why they don't get it on.
Hang on.
So they come
Throw
around.
some context. Look, we get the 11 video up here if you're listening to us. If you're on YouTube, the best way to watch the show is on that. Denny Hamlin. A lot of rear brake in that unit sliding into the box here.
Yeah, so it just doesn't take. There's a couple reasons why the Lugno doesn't take. One time, sometimes it's gun angle, the thread's on the wrong side. Some other times
that was a heads up. That was a heads up bang bang though.
Some other times it's the hang's not back. Go back a little bit more on that. Go back. What tire does he catch? Hicks comes around and puts his hand on. Is it the 24 rolls their tire into their box? So, okay, so they get it. They fix it. Yeah, 24's tire rolls in their box. Hicks stops it. What a guy.
Here you go. There, man.
What a guy. And then keeps going now. And I have a slow left.
Why would he do that?
That's not Hicks.
Where's Hicks?
Hicks is on the 20.
Okay.
That's Devin.
So they had to come
now
back in.
Now they still think it's... They think it's...
Loose.
So this must have been under caution. Man, that was just a bad turn of events. And then the 11's going to come back down later.
Well, there was that. He sped on this instance too, right?
Sped too, but here's under green.
Oh, no.
The stop before this, front changer spooled the gun up on the left front. Now, it's easy to do at Richmond because there's a lot of camber. So when you come back in, it's like you got to go up at it. Mm-hmm. So if you miss, then you hit the trigger when you thought you were going to hit it. The gun spools up. If the gun is turning at full RPM and that nut gets the threads and it runs it up, you're not getting it back off. So he spooled it up, and then it's probably torqued at, I don't know,
1,000 pounds,
maybe way more than that, probably 2,000, and you just gotta sit there and it finally breaks it loose. We have I call it Thor's hammer. It's like this big.
No, it's the Ugga Dugga 5000.
Okay, Thor's hammer. I like that better, but sometimes I'm like, man, I spooled up. I had one on this. In this race where I kind of did the same thing because, like I said, you come back in, the camber's real steep, and you kind of hit the end of the cone and spool up at the same time. It just kind of stops real quick and then goes on.
So
I lifted.
What is good torque on the nose?
800, 700. Yeah, anywhere between 600 and 800. I mean, hell, I don't know. I watched a video the other day RFK put up from Iowa, and the left rear was clearly loose, and he ran 150 laps. So it just continues to change, and you're always going to see it change. And I think it's track dependent, setup dependent, tire dependent. But right there, that was far too tight on the 11.
So the 16 fired off the race. Great qualifying effort out of AJ Allmendinger and that 16 team. Great track position. I think this was the first pit stop, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, I've never
literally
seen anything like this. I've been pitting for 19 years. This is the first time I've ever seen a car actually get knocked off the jack. Like, I've heard people say, hey, I'm going to knock you off the jack if you keep parking like that. He literally knocked us off the jack, and I watched it. Like, I pull the left front off, and I catch it out of my peripheral. Just the jack going down and just, like, crunching the handle.
Yeah.
Everything just, and I'm like, oh, boy.
So then you got to get the other jack.
Got the other jack, jacked it up, finished the stop. But we had driven, we started 29th. That's a death sentence at Richmond. You're going to go a lap down the first run.
You got to get to 24th on the first run.
So that was the first yellow flag stop. We had done a green flag stop before then. We got to your point, to 22nd, and we were still on the lead lap. Yeah. It was like, man, I think we were even further up than that. It was like, man, this is going to be a hell of a day. Allmendinger was running like second or third. So it knocked him out, has ruined his whole day.
Yep.
And it set us back, but we were able to rebound and recover.
77 had a real good day as well going. They had multiple bad stops. They were one of the ones that were going to go 3-stop in the last stage.
I haven't seen any of these stops.
I didn't see that.
Yep. That was the first part.
Dude, getting on pit road at Richmond here is so hard because the car right now, dude, the car feels like you're driving on a gravel road. That's what it feels like when you're on old tires. And then when you're not driving, like you're going slower than you would be at race pace, then it has less downforce, so now there's less pressure pushing on the tires even more, and you're literally up on top of the racetrack skate. Drag bled down.
No, it didn't bleed down. It dropped. There was no bleeding. That thing come down in a hurry, so I don't know if he didn't have the handle tight or if he was on the carbon.
Then this is the other stop, I believe, or this is the same thing. It's the other stop.
This is the last one that he did. It was his strategy to pit last and have tires, and then that happened under green.
So he does the Ludwig drop. He gets a look at it, but I don't know why he left. See, this has been this team's Achilles heel. It happened at Bristol as well. They pit. They're one of the fastest teams week in and week out. But when the lights are on and the pay window opens, man, they seem to have these big, giant mistakes.
Yep.
And it's a green flag stop. Like, they're running. They're much like their driver, where they're running 10-10s all the time. They're going as hard as they possibly can.
Just get the tires on and go. Keep.
You don't have to do that all race long. Like, that is not. But that's like the new generation of pit road of like, no, we got to be the best. And I said that before this race started. I said to our guys, I said, hey guys, this race is going to turn into a giant meat measuring contest because we haven't been able to do pit stops in about 10 weeks.
Salami?
Whatever kind of meat you want to talk about, but we haven't been able to do pit stops in like 10 weeks. It's been fuel mileage or backward stops, you name it. This is the first real test of pit crews. Everybody's pit coaches are telling them they got to be great. They got to do this. We got to go to Richmond. We got this circle. We're getting ready for the playoffs. They're going to see fast stops pop up, and everybody's going to be going too hard, and they're going to take themselves out of it all day long. If you keep yourself in the race, you're going to run top 15. That was my message to our team. And at the end of the race, one of our guys was like, man, how'd you know that? I'm like, because that's how it's always been. And I don't care who wants to come in, what pit coaches want to come in, what football guys want to come in and tell you can go harder, you can't. It's always been the same. You got to keep your car in the race. You can't fall in love with the number, and you got to be there at the end. And you're seeing a lot of these young guys come in and overstep. They're paying the price, and they're taking their cars out of the race. And that's for some of these playoff teams, that's a hard pill to swallow. Going into the playoffs, now you're socially and with your team, you're just trying to dig yourself out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tough.
Talking about a team trying to dig your way out, man. 23-11 really had their control of the race. 45 got spun out during that green flag sequence, but the 23.
So here's the 20, the first one. So here's the difference between two reactions to the same issue. And a lot of people forgot about the 20, but the 20 had a loose wheel and didn't leave.
This left front tire tight on the race car. Back it up.
So they did a good job.
Under caution, so a little different.
Yeah.
They did a good job backing them up, but yeah, you put yourself back like that, you're done.
And here's under green.
Now this 23, I can break this whole thing down. I watched him go by. We were getting ready to pit, and I'm like, yo, their tire's off. Stay out. And he did like a good job kind of stopping the tire with his car.
I don't think he meant to do
I know,
that.
but it looked like it at the time, and I was like, I didn't realize.
No, at that point in time, he's like, okay, what do I do here? Tell me what to do.
Yes. The 19 did a good job kind of fixing it. You see Daniel's like putting his helmet on behind the wall. He's like, that tire? Okay. All right, I'll get it. Let's put it on. So, Lee, this is a place where you don't want to give anybody your tires, even your scuffs.
No.
You're like, you're not getting one of these. So it worked out perfect where the tire kind of landed in their pit stall. Lee's got no glove on. He's just like ripping it.
So obviously, there's you don't salvage the day, right? You take yourself out of contention to win or even for a decent result. But what is this decision? Call it a heads up, if you will. Call it a miss, if you will. This saved the Jackman and the Changer a 2-week vacation.
Well, it's just because it fell off on pit road.
Right.
If it would have fallen off on the track, I mean, nothing the 19 did saved him. No. The only thing that saved him is that it fell off on pit road and didn't roll out on the track.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only thing that saved him.
Gotcha.
So it's just circumstance. But like if we go to the stop, like I can find nothing good to say about this situation.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they're not getting suspended because it fell off on pit road.
Yep.
If you go back to the pit stop, I can break down why it happened. So you could see when you start it on the overhead, they started a little late. Stop it right here. When you see Austin Dickey, the front changer, is already standing at the wall. Yep. So they obviously had trouble on the right rear. So when you, as a front changer, everybody kind of leaves the right side at the same time. You get behind your Jackman, you fall in behind them onto the left front. When you have to run to the left front and stand there straight up and wait for everybody, Nathan's going to come by him. Nathan Ricketts, the Jackman's going to come by him. You see how far Austin is away from the car. If you hit play, When he lands to the left front, he's already kind of out of position, off timing, cocks the left front pole. And when he cocks the left front pole, you'll see a little bit of a spark. The lug nut comes disengaged from the socket. It doesn't shoot out. It just kind of falls out in between his legs. You see it roll towards the wall.
Yep.
But then he switches the button and just hits it real quick. Now, nothing Nathan Ricketts did was wrong here because he hits it real quick. And when you get in a rush, like Dickie knew he was behind, he got in a rush and just kind of hit it like, all right, get out of here. The gun will, when there's no nut in the gun, it'll hit the wheel and kind of ratchet, almost like there was a nut there. So he hit it, and he kind of knew something was wrong, but he backed his gun out. When you pull your gun off the wheel, that is that's the number one sign to a jackman that you're done. So he rips it, and he kind of looks at it like, oh, no, there's no nut on there.
Yeah.
Like he felt something, but he's like, uh-oh, and that's when he started waving, but the car was already gone. I don't know. I'm sure they run intercoms. I'm not sure. I'm sure they're wishing that they just stopped him and backed him up there.
Yeah.
But, man, that was that's a tough way to go out for the team that's arguably been one of the best this season.
They got a lot of mo right now. Spent a little bit of time talking with Charles. Shout out Charles tonight, too. I'm sure they're going to be sitting there breaking that down as well in-house at 2311 this week to make sure that issue doesn't present themselves over the next 10 weeks.
Here's the golden lining. Here's
silver lining.
The silver lining, the gold, whatever. The good thing I can pick. It happened now and not in Darlington.
Yeah.
You wanted this stuff. You want your team to go through hard things now. So in 2 weeks' time, you're already through it. You've had those conversations, and you're stronger for the playoffs. So that's what I think is the silver lining.
Get the real big ass chewing done here at Richmond before you have real big consequences here in 2 weeks.
So on the other side of this is kind of funny. This is Chase Briscoe's radio while all this is happening.
Long way to go here. Take care of it. Fire! Getting fire! It's in the pit box! Get
So
it!
James Small's on channel 1 and Chase can hear it. I don't know if he can hear it or not.
Come on,
So when you're listening,
Hold on, just listen.
Two fitting up front here.
No, he wasn't on channel 2.
Yeah,
because
Chase Briscoe posted that and said he could hear it.
Oh, that was on channel 1?
Well, no, because the pit crew's not on channel 2.
Why not?
Because it's just the spotter and the crew chief.
Really?
Yeah. Then the pit crew might be on the intercoms.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if they have it on at that point or what. You know,
Chase is probably like, "What the hell?
What is going on?
What is going on?"
Oh, yeah, that's tough. 19 team, man. They should start charging for that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of
nitrogen ain't free.
There's a lot of blood up and down pit road this weekend, and we'll see if it carries over to Darlington, right? Because you go to Daytona this weekend, you don't really have much to do pit stop wise. Then we're going to the granddaddy of them all for pit stops, buddy. The Southern 500. No, dude, just the Southern 500 alone. Then you go to Bristol. Bristol's kind of could be on the fence one way or the other, and then you're only going to get a couple shots at Gateway. But you got to be damn good at Gateway because it's a track position race. So these next 3 races are going to be
pit road.
Next 3 races after Daytona are going to be
at Gateway.
Important.
So there's a lot of woes, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of video for you. If you wanted to just go check that out on YouTube, on NASCAR's YouTube channel. Penny Stackers, a couple of them this week, several. One of them, my little man from Holden. He's from Richmond. Said he listens to the show every week, so I'm sorry for cussing. Try to clean up my language.
They beep it out.
Yeah. So we'll try to clean that up. Appreciate him listening to us every week. Yeah, Castor. Cousins Camber.
Yeah.
He's from Texas. So shout out to him. There's a lot of people at the modified race as well that say they listen to the show. Appreciate everybody that spends their time listening to us ramble on any given week.
We got
keep showing up for you.
Fun stuff going on. So we're gonna skip Penny for your thoughts, but I got one for you. Who's your pick to win Daytona, and will be someone below the cut line? You've been hammering the 6 car.
I'm going to keep hammering the 6 because if he's not going to win the show, he's going to be the show, and he might create some stuff going on.
That's where if I'm going with anybody from RFK, it's going to be the 17. But
he's done it before. Didn't he win 3 in a row a couple years ago?
I got one for you that you're not going to like.
Tell me.
I'm going Kyle Busch.
I mean, he was in position last year. I mean, that was the whole big Parker Retzlaff thing when Parker pushed your kid, Jeff, your kid, Harrison Burton. Right?
No, your son.
Your son.
Your little boy has done it.
Your little boy has done it, Jeff. Yeah, there was a whole big GM stink that Parker Retzlaff driving an RCR affiliate car pushed Your boy has done it. So as long as Parker Retzlaff's not racing, I think Kyle ought to have a decent shot at it. We'll see.
A couple shout-outs for the Cup race. SVG, big deal, finished 14th at Richmond. He was ripping the top.
We talked about that at length on Inside the Race. Go ahead and give him his flowers, guys, because people just continue to move the goalpost on him. Oh, he's going to do this. Oh, he's going to do that. SVG's an elite race car driver.
I'll give you a shout-out. Scotty Pye, Apex Hunter, Scotty Pye from V8 Supercars. He wrote me Instagram messages. He said, you know what Corey said about chirping the tires, downshifting with the clutch is spot on. He kind of explained to me how the Australian V8 Supercar tires are working and the stuff they've gone through. So he really gave a good in-depth synopsis of why they do that. And he said what you said about tire heat and chirping tires is spot on. So that was cool. A couple other things.
Turns out sometimes I know what I'm talking about, buddy.
Sometimes, believe it or not.
Surprisingly enough.
Suarez finished 7th. That was good for him. He's still competing for a job next year. Doesn't know what he's going to be doing. Zane Smith finished 11th. I'm not. I know that's for a shout-out, but our team feels like we can be better than that.
Brent Cruz won the ARCA race. Also, shout-out Brayton Lacer, the pizza man. Top 10 finish.
The dirt race.
P7. That kid's just – he's the most excited person at the racetrack each and every week, so I got to give it to him. My favorite part was all the interviews that he did, like hours after the race. He still didn't wipe his face off with mud. He still was covered in like he just did a Spartan race.
Look like Brad after he puts eye black on.
Literally, like the next morning, wakes up out of his bed, still got the eye black on.
Corey Heim, 7th win of the season. Jeez Louise,
I was going to talk about that a little bit. Corey Heim is absolutely annihilating the field, right? Scotty Zip has that 11 truck dialed in, and those guys, no matter where they go, are going to be the truck you have to beat. This is what the fans don't know. Corey Heim gets in a 2311 car. 2311 car had the best setup between the 23, the 45, and you know that 67 was no different. The kid that is the bona fide best prospect that we have coming into the Cup Series ran 30th all night.
Yeah, but dude, you listen. When you're on a cup, you show up and run a cup. The
goes out first to qualify. Yeah,
but the reason he's good in the Truck Series is because they've been working on their program. Scotty Zip has done it for 15 years. They have a program team. They've been working on it, building it, working on it each week. Tire pressures, pit road speed, stacking pennies.
Yeah,
every week.
Yep.
You go just do a one-off Cup race.
It's damn near impossible.
Unless you hit it perfect and the cautions fly your way, you're going to run 30th.
Yeah, right.
You don't have a team that does it every week. It's kind of the guys from the shop. It's not – nobody has their cadence about them. There's not the small little things. So, I heard he getting quite a couple looks at some other Cup rides too.
I don't think those are accurate.
Keelan Harvick wins Cars Tour West race, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Landon Lewis wins Cars Tour race. Luke Baldwin wins the Pro race. The Cars Tour race, talked about him earlier.
Who won the Cars? Who's won the late model stock race?
Landon Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah, and then another shout out to Kate Basinger with the Stack of Pennies Award.
See, I love that type of stuff. We're just trying to bring you guys positive energy throughout the week. Continue to just stack pennies in any detail of your life to get you ultimately where you want to go. Anything grind your gears?
Nothing. I had a great weekend, and dude, we were
something really dude, it's been sticking with me rent free in my head when Levi jumped in the golf. So we drove the golf cart over to where you had the trailer parked.
Oh, and he stole it.
And you and I walk over. You introduced me to a friend of yours, a couple of trailers down. I look over, and Levi is behind the wheel of the golf cart, which is not unusual for him. He'll jump and stuff and drive around. But Harper's in the front seat and Crew's in the back. Turns it around, gasses it up, and dumps Crew out.
Crew
the back.
Just fell right off the back. I mean, you got to hold on.
Yeah, man. The acceleration is.
Well, Levi kept trying to take the golf cart when we were driving in to get you. He's like, I'm driving. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, I'm driving. I said, there's too much traffic.
Yeah.
You got to slide over. And he'd be like, I want to drive. I'm like, dude, we can Rochambeau for this. Let's go. No, but
yeah.
But no, we had a great time. We had just an awesome weekend, and it all came. The perfect ending was after the Cup race on Sunday. We was nowhere to eat, and we got a pizza delivered to our room at 2 o'clock in the morning. The kids were sleeping. I bring this pizza in and open it up, and all the kids woke up. Both kids woke up, and they're like, we want a slice. And we were all sitting there eating a pizza 2 in the morning. I said, kids, people are going to tell you a lot of stuff, but this right here,
it's good old
nothing gets better than this right here, eating pizza at 2 o'clock in the morning in your hotel after a NASCAR race. It's a good weekend.
Yeah, that's the good old days, buddy. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. We had fun as well at Richmond. Hopefully the fans had fun too. seem to be the product that everybody loves and expects a NASCAR stock car race to be. But we got another great one coming up this weekend at Daytona. Also, big interview coming up later this week on Spare Change Thursday. Going to break down a lot of stuff with Ben Kennedy. So you guys know where to check it out. Wherever you find your podcast, NASCAR's YouTube channel, Instagram _stacking pennies for all of our cool clips coming out as well. So
Ben playing kickball this year?
I've asked him every year. I think he might have came out once, but I need to just like
put him on the spot. Put him on the spot on the show. You'll get your answer this week.
Well, whether or not we can get Ben Kennedy to play, we'll ask him here later on in the week. October 2nd, the Thursday of Charlotte Roval weekend, guys. Mark your calendars. Come in a little bit early. We're going to have some of your favorite NASCAR drivers trying their hand at kickball for the 5th annual Kickball Classic. You can pre-sale. You can buy a ticket. We'd appreciate it if you pre-bought one. All the proceeds go to the YMCA. It's at the Atrium Health Ballpark, downtown Kannapolis. It is awesome. It is fun. You do not want to miss it. Tickets available at LaJoieRacing.com. Yeah. Kickball again. Let's run it back. One more again. And that's all I got. Goodbye.
That's it. See ya.